that when I am weak, I have his strength. For you are the strong name. You are the strong name. Yes, you are. Stand and proclaim, and when heartache doesn't say the same, we will stand and proclaim, and whatever doesn't say the same, we will stand and proclaim. It's coming down at your name.
Beautiful innocence, you traded it for my guilt. You given me life within.
See you too. Oh well, no, I don't see you yet. I see Pastor Witherspoon. I don't see you. I see a picture of you.
You gave it all for me. Love greater than my sin.
Yes, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
You reached down and rescued me. You traded beauty for ashes. All you've done and all.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City. And now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City,
Greetings.
Pleasantville.
This is Kaleem Shabazz, president of the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP. The NAACP is a civil rights and social justice organization fighting since 1909 to ensure that everyone is treated fairly in our nation. The NAACP does not endorse candidates. We do take a position on issues that impact social justice or civil rights. The May 12th special election in Atlantic City is an effort to negatively impact the civil rights of Atlantic City voters. and will create a social injustice if approved. The NAACP encourages Atlantic City residents to vote no on the special election. The change of government will remove the ability of Atlantic City voters to have neighborhood representation, and the NAACP says vote no. The change of government would stop the voters from directly electing the mayor, and the NAACP says vote no. And finally, the change of government removes the voters' ability to have referendum and initiative, and the NAACP says vote no. When you receive your mail-in ballot, please fill it out, vote no, and place your ballot in the mail. Remember, vote no in the May 12th election in Atlantic City. Thank you.
WEHA is a listener-supported radio station. To make a donation, call 609-641-8870. Visit our headquarters at 3 Canal Drive, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, 08234. Or log on to our website, wehavegospel.com.
We have gospel.
The other guests still coming?
If you just tune in, you're listening to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon right here on your favorite gospel radio station, two-time Stellar Award radio station, WEHA, 88.7, 100.3. You tuned in to In the Community with Dr. Thelma and Lady Parrish. We have a wonderful program for you on today. We are live and zooming through the pandemic. And I'm really excited about that. I really am. We got a whole lot going on. We got guests that will be coming in on the show on today. And we want to let you know that this broadcast is being brought to you by the Hawks family businesses who have been serving our community for over 30 years, and Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. And also the Tabernacle Church of Christ, Bishop Otis Grayson, and Shepherd Mother Betsy Grayson. Thank you for our sponsors for the month of April, and we really appreciate it, Lady Parrish and I. You're sponsoring our show In the Community. We have some announcements for you on today that we want to make sure that you are breast up. Number one, before we get into the COVID-19 announcements, we want to make sure that everyone, did you fill out your census form? Make sure that you fill out your census form. That is very important. I started my form because I didn't want to be a hypocrite telling you to fill out yours and I hadn't filled out mine. But it's almost complete. When I get finished, I'm just going to press the button and I'll be done. Just a few more things I had to say, okay? So, make sure that your census form is being filled out. Also, the COVID testing, there's one in Mays Landing. There will be a couple opening up in Atlantic City on this week. And there's a couple of things that you need to know that you have to do. You have to have a prescription from your healthcare provider. And you have to have read and accepted the consent form. You have to have a scheduled appointment. You have to have symptoms. And once you, if you do not meet those requirements, the police will turn you away from the testing location. And you have to arrive 15 minutes prior to your appointment. I was watching the news and I saw someone, and I'm not going to call their name because I'm sure that you might know them, from the Philadelphia area, who indicated that they just ran up and got tested. I don't know how that happened. They didn't even know they had it. They got tested and found out that they had COVID-19. But I thought you had to have some type of symptoms in order to qualify to get tested. Now, Lady Paris, you can confirm this with me. You had a relative or a friend whose husband was getting tested, but they told you that they were only allowing
One per household.
one per household.
Sorry about that. One
Yeah.
per household.
Yeah, so I didn't understand that quietly, and I tried to call and get information why they would only be allowing one person to get tested in the house. That's crazy to me. It's real crazy. All right, but that's what's going on. Also, if you are in need of food, really nobody should be hungry because everybody's giving out food. I'm telling you, the Local 54 gave out food. Friends in Action gave out food. Redeeming Love gave out food. The food bank is giving out food. Listen, if you are out there and you are in need of food, the Jewish Family Services, located 607 North Jerome Avenue in Margate, gives out food from Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Also, they give out food. Also, the SNAP, which is the food stamps, have been increased. The food stamps has been doubled. I knew somebody personally who was only getting $16 a month, and when I called them, they live out of state, they are now getting $184. So, if you're out there and you don't have food stamps, or SNAP as they call it, you can call the county, 609 345 6700, and the operator will come on and they will connect you to someone so you can sign up and have benefits. We don't want anyone hungry during this at any period, but especially right now. The other thing I have before Lady Purge comes on with what she wants to say, do not, and I repeat, do not drink bleach or Lysol. All right? And this is not only from me, and I'm not going to say just common sense, but the FDA commissioner stated do not drink Lysol or bleach. Now, there was 20 people in another country, and I don't have that right in front of me, who drank bleach and died. So now if you drink bleach, you're not going to die from COVID-19. You're dying from bleach and Lysol. And I don't want anyone of our listening audience to drink bleach or Lysol to try to get rid of the virus. Lady Parrish?
Yes, okay, now I'm busy trying to set us up here because we're supposed to go live in a few minutes. We're having a few issues. However, understand that Atlantic City's opening up some housing for homeless.
That's good.
In the motels. They tried to ship them out, but I think they shipped them back. But we make sure we have empathy and compassion for the less fortunate.
Yes.
Also, what else is going on? I was trying to get it all together before I came on because we're doing two things here. But we do want to remind you, as she said, not to drink bleach or any type of disinfectant. 44 people in Iran died behind that. And they said a pastor told someone to take it, but I understand that was fake news. And anytime we see things like that, we always check Snoops to make sure that the information is correct and we're not having fake news or hoax and things like that. Also, we found out yesterday that Georgia opened up. Florida opened the other day. Georgia followed them. So we're not rushing into opening up because once you lose someone, they're gone forever. And it's not that important that we have to get out there with the nails. We'll have claws or the beauty salons or whatever. We can manage for our health.
All right. We want to manage for our health. We want everyone to stay safe. Continue the social distancing. Continue doing that. That's important. Continue to wash your hands. Continue to wash your hands. That's important that you continue to do that. And wash your hands with soap and water. It's not good enough just to put it under water. Wash your hands with soap and water. And that will be absolutely important, paramount, important to your health and staying healthy. We want to say we done this show today on Zoom and through the pandemic. I had to go to the doctors last week and this week. Last week was my first time going on Zoom to virtual to see my doctor, a specialist that I have been waiting on for 4.5 months. But I'm glad I waited. She was worth it, you know. But for my first meeting, it was virtual. So if you're out there, you may have to see your doctor through social media, through Zoom, through virtual. And if you don't have that, they're giving you a telephone conference so you can talk on the telephone with it. Also, I wanted everyone to know I had to go to another doctor this week. And before I got inside, they took my temperature. If you have a temperature, you won't get to see the doctor that day. I didn't have a temperature, so I had to sit out in my car and wait for the nurse to come out to take my temperature before I could go inside the health facility. Everybody wants to be safe, including, you know, our healthcare professionals. And we want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody who's out there that's essential employees, from the sanitation worker, the person that throws the trash, to the clerks, everybody. The postal workers, the doctors, the nurses, the MTs, the paramedics, everybody that's out there just helping keep us safe and keeping us going, you know, so you're able to get your mail and all of that type of situation, okay? So that's important. That is very, very important. So even I was watching a draft last night. I watched the draft last night, and they were Zooming. I saw Roger Goodell right in his basement on Zoom. And
You see it now? No.
I saw him on Zoom, and we had Cesar Ruiz from our area who got drafted, and I was really excited about that. I was really, really excited about that. So I know it's pushing all of us. I mean, it's pushing me. I've never done Zoom. I had to go ask my grandchildren, you know, how do I get on Zoom? I had to get help from Lady Paris. You got to go on YouTube. I mean, there's different ways that you can do things, and you got to get up to technology. That's the bottom line, you know? If not, you're going to be left behind. And we're not talking about the rapture now. This is a gospel station. But you're left behind in technology. You can't keep up if you don't have the proper technology. So we are extremely excited today. We're extremely excited today to have two guests. One I met at a vision board meeting, and in the person of Jessica Gouron.
Say it, Jessica.
Goujon.
Okay, I'm putting it this way. Couldn't get it the other way, so we're going this way today.
Yeah, so we have her, and we have Elder Charles Goddard, and who I've known, him and his wife, since we went to school together, although he's an upperclassman, graduated in 1979. Mm-hmm. Although I think, Elder Goddard, the class of 1980 is the best class. So, but
Elder Goddard, can you hear her?
I don't think so.
He muted. Unmute. He muted.
Yeah, I'm missing some of the conversation.
I was saying that we had Elder Charles. Now we can hear you
Glad
now.
to be here.
All right, we had Elder Charles Goddard. He is one of my classmates, upperclassmen. He graduated, I believe, in 1979. Him and his wife Brenda, and we've been knowing each other for a very long time. Although I feel that the class of 1980 is the best class. But we're not going to argue.
That's debatable. I heard that part.
But we're on live today. Listen, and I was just saying a few minutes ago, even the NFL was on Zoom. I was watching the draft last night, and they were on Zoom with the draft last night. So if the NFL done it, I don't know if that was Zoom or not. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. The NFL was on Zoom. Did anybody watch the draft? No.
He's not hearing you?
Not hearing me.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna get it together. We're on Zoom. We're on Zoom with our it didn't come out, did it? We're on Zoom with our
Put it closer.
oh
Nope.
there you go.
Pardon us, this is our first, so bear with us, and if you have any suggestions, let us know.
Okay, we're coming on live.
Okay, I'm putting it closer to the station.
All right. Can you hear us now? All right, they're gonna hear us in a couple of seconds. We're on Zoom, and Jessica Grajon, she works for Stockton University. She's the assistant director for admissions, and
Yes, so for the sake of the Zoom, because I think maybe on your radio they can hear you, but perhaps there's just some lag with the sound. So I work for Stockton University, and I am the assistant director of admissions. And as you can imagine, it's been quite a transition from moving an entire university, students, faculty, staff online. And almost overnight, we had to utilize Zoom to continue the curriculum. Students had to take classes, finish up their senior year. We have our Zoom meetings with our prospective students that are still deciding to come to Stockton in the fall. We have our current students that we're advising, and even our professional staff and our support staff, everybody's meeting right now through Zoom. So Zoom has become our entire life overnight.
Overnight.
And it's overnight, the new normal.
Wow. And you had to be already, apparently the college had to be somewhere halfway ready in order to make that change.
Absolutely. And the good thing is that Zoom now more than ever has a team that is making it as simple as possible for everyone to learn, to join in on meetings, even families. Last night we had a little virtual birthday party for my brother who turned 36. There was like 20 of us all over the country and the world, from Hawaii, Dominican Republic, New York, Jersey. We were all able to just hang out on Zoom, see each other's faces, and connect more than ever. Something that we haven't done in over 10 years.
Wow.
So Zoom is powerful, and this is the future. And I don't think, even if things go back to normal, I truly believe that we will be able to Zoom with our doctors,
Right.
we'll be able to Zoom. If we're not feeling good, we could work from home. They're not gonna make us take sick days. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just really think that this is the new normal. Unfortunately, we all have to learn it.
Exactly. And as I said earlier, it's stretching me. It really is. But I'm glad because I'm growing. You know, I'm constantly learning from technology. And as I said earlier, I had to rely on my grandsons and different people to help me, but they did. Lady Parrish and YouTube and Jessica. I had to rely on everybody to help me with Zoom, but I'm happy that I'm up and running.
It was easy, right?
It was easy. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I want to ask you because, you know, a lot of the people were going to, kids, college graduates, high school, they were going to graduate. How is Stockton doing with the graduation? Are they going to just mail them their degrees or what? Or you don't know yet?
So we are going to a pass-fail system. We do not have, well, it depending on the professor really, but it's important to understand that students aren't going to be penalized for not knowing how to continue their classes online. We understand, right, that not everyone is technological savvy or disciplined to be doing their work from home. So we're going through a pass-fail system, and hopefully that will alleviate a lot of the anxiety that the students are having, you know, meeting their prerequisites to graduate, or to move forward to register for classes for the next semester. So, you know, the institution is very much filled with talented and brilliant faculty and administrators. I really do love our president, our vice president. They're very understanding. And I think we all have to be understanding and empathetic, right? And we have to really have a strong community of support. Our IT staff, they're working at Stockton right now. They're essential. Our all of our IT staff members are there to help the faculty who probably don't know how to do their instruction over the internet and through Zoom. If we're having issues with our Wi-Fi, if Zoom kicks us out, like our audio or anything, right? Our IT staff, we pick up the phone, we call them, they connect virtually into our computer, they fix it, and we move forward. But I think that it really takes a village.
Yes.
And this is something that I am so proud to be a part of, because this is what you're doing. You are providing a tutorial to all who probably feel silly asking for help, and I don't think anybody should feel silly to ask for help and to want to learn how to utilize Microsoft Teams, Zoom, various different platforms. So God bless you. I really thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and it has been a challenge, but it can be done. You have to have the proper equipment. You got to be up to. You can't have a flip phone. You can't have a flip phone. You can't have a flip phone, and be on Zoom. You have to update. You have to update.
I don't think she's hearing you.
Okay, you have to update what you're doing. So can you hear me now? Yeah, I'm talking. But anyway, we're getting through it. We're getting through it.
It's just like,
we appreciate you calling in today. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in on the show. All right.
It's like we're on a delayed response or something.
You're right. Well, we're working through this on this show.
I can't hear you at all.
You can't. I can hear you.
It's like charades. I'm like,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. So that's a good thing. So for Zoom, so in one day, Stockton was up.
Did you hear that?
No.
She didn't hear.
No.
I wonder what. No,
we got it plugged in. I don't know what's going on, but we're working through it. This is our first show on Zoom, and we're excited about it, about coming in. Eligada, can you hear us?
Yeah, and so I didn't hear everything you said just now, Pastor Thelma, but I think something that Jessica mentioned and as you're talking about is very important. While we're all learning, it's a good time to have grace, right?
Yeah.
for one another, because that's something that we wanted to do, is encourage folks to try these technologies, to use them to our benefit. We can use them in a lot of great ways, but it is a learning curve. There'll be some stumbling along the way, but we definitely want to have patience and we want moving the ball forward, because as Jessica said, I think this is our new normal, right? That we'll be using a lot more of these technologies going forward.
Absolutely. Now you do a little something different too, along with Zoom. What do you do? We was going to talk about telework.
Okay, I think I just heard that. You want me to talk about telework a little bit?
Yes, before I break.
Okay. All right. So when we talk about telework, right, what you're really talking about is working from a distance, right? So you're not at your office anymore. For those of you that had to go into brick and mortar or offices away from your home, it's a work arrangement where your employer and employee, they say, hey, okay, there's no need to have to come to office. You can work in an alternative place. Sometimes telework is also sometimes referred to as telecommuting, virtual working, remote workers. Those are all the different acronyms or labels that are used to describe telework. As we were talking yesterday, it's not a new concept, right? So I can tell you back in 1980s and early 90s when I was a programmer, I was using telework to do what we call production support at night when things went went bump in the night with any of our applications, instead of us having to get in our cars and find a way to get into the office at 10, 11, 12 midnight at night, we were able to dial in and get work done and get systems back up and running, so the business was being serviced on the next day when they came in. Now, it wasn't as elegant as it is today, but it certainly still is a good example of how telework has been something that has been out in the workplace for a number of years, and now we even talk about decades. It really has been out there in decades. But what is new about it is the adoption rate, right? The adoption rate, especially how it's spiked recently very rapidly because of COVID-19 and the impact that it's having on businesses and providing in different service industries. This pandemic has really caused a significant spike very quickly for businesses as well as individuals to get up in speed, keep the business running, keep the services going, so that people can still, be supported and business can still be supported. So again, it wasn't gradual, right? And so I can use, for example, my work experience where back in March of this year, we went from a couple of hundred we would have working from home at different times. That wasn't a foreign concept to us. So we might have a couple of hundred that was working at the same time from home. But it spiked very quickly from a few hundred to 4,800 people working at the same time. And that puts a certain stress on the organization. Fortunately, we were in a position where we had people who had enough foresight, our leadership had some foresight, where back in 2016, you might remember the papal visit, there was shutdowns in the center city part of Philadelphia as a result of security and the like that was shut down early because of the papal visit. There were, 9/11, was something that we learned from, that, hey, it could happen to anyone, right? Any business could be out suddenly because of some malign activity on behalf of others. So you could find your workforce. They realized they could find the workforce, a significant part of it, having to do their job away from the office. And so investments would start to be put in a little bit at a time, reasonable investments, to start building out what we call our infrastructure. And by that, we mean the things that's behind the scenes that you don't see, to make sure that you have enough bandwidth that you can support a larger workforce working from home. Does it mean that things were easy back in March when we went from a couple of hundred to 4,800 working remotely at the same time? No, it wasn't easy. There was still some unexpected challenges. But as Jessica said, there were a lot of great IT heroes whose names you'll never hear, right?
Right.
that helped to overcome those challenges and work through the technology and with the people to make it happen and to make it a very successful endeavor for us.
And that's
They're heroes, aren't they?
Yes.
They really are heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they had to show their creativity, ingenuity.
Overnight.
Sometimes IT people we're looked at as not being very creative because we're very analytical, right?
Right.
But this put a challenge on quite a few of our staff, and a lot of kudos, a lot of thank yous for, again, faces that people will never see to help make that possible. And we're in a great position now where, when we started out, right, there were outages, there were spikes, there was things like we're facing today, right, where, our Skype was knocked out for a few people for a little bit of time, and then it would come back. But, they tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. And then at the point now where everyone is within a week or two, everyone was stable. It really is. We're working from home like we're working, as though that we're working from the office. We're seeing productivity is high, things are still getting done. We're doing releases week after week, still making sure that the work is done, and the business is very happy. And as a result of business being happy, our providers and our customers are happy that use our services out in the street. So it's been well, as much as we talk about the negatives that's happened because of COVID-19, and it's very serious, it's some very negative impacts. There's also some challenges that have pushed us, to be creative,
absolutely,
in various ways. And we're able to see some of those good stories that's happening also.
Also,
Charles,
yes.
I'm so sorry. You work for Microsoft Teams?
No, I work for Insure, and since I'm not here in an official capacity, I keep it kind of generic. I work for major health insurance in Philadelphia.
Right, and so I find it so ironic that I'm so knowledgeable on all kinds of platforms except for Skype. And doctor uses Skype for Business. Many doctors use Skype for Business.
Yes.
And she ended up having to call me because she was having an issue and I was having an issue. So I really don't know the best practice right now. And I really don't know why healthcare, they're using Skype instead of Zoom. Do you know why?
A little insight. So for us, Skype was chosen because it's much more secure. So healthcare industry, we're very sensitive about protecting the data of our members, right? So like none of us would want strangers to be able to go in and see what kind of procedures we're having, right? What kind of challenges we might be having, right? We don't want them having our names, our phone numbers, our addresses, social security numbers, all kind of personal identifiable information that we take very serious in protecting. And the analysis in our leadership in our IT areas, when looking at various potential products, Skype was the one that they decided to use. That was years ago. I don't know all the ins and outs, but even as early as about last week, we've put emphasis to our workforce, because you can still download Zoom and use it, but they've been told not to do enforce, like, no, that's not what we want to use for business practice. Use Skype that's already on your laptops, already on your desktops, because of security.
Well, hold that right there. We're getting ready for a commercial break. We're on Zoom. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Churches to access their fair share of a $320 billion fund meant for businesses and churches that have been affected by the COVID-19. Tune in for a special WEHA program on Sunday, April 26th at 1:30 p.m. with Priscilla Hawks, attorney at law, and Reverend Yeary from Reverend Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Push Coalition. Together, they will discuss the money available and what you need to have in place to apply for it. If you are wondering whether or not you are eligible for these funds, tune in. You definitely don't want to miss this program. Be safe and God bless. The second best thing about driving home is listening to WEHA. The best thing is getting there. And that's why I'm glad when I finally get home, I can listen to WEHA on my computer. It's easy. All you have to do is go to WeHaveGospel.com. Not only can I hear the station, I can also see what's playing at the time, as well as what has already played before. Sometimes I'll hear a song on the radio and I want to know the name of the song and where I can get it from, And when I need to go to another website, I can always use the pop-out player to keep WEHA playing in the background while I browse the web. They make it so easy for me at WeHaveGospel.com. You got to check it out.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent.
Hawks, a name that has been trusted for almost 30 years in the janitorial services industry, is proud to present Hawks Professional Moving Services. Fully insured, local and long distance, packing services, commercial and residential, no job too small or too large, friendly and reliable services. For more information or a free estimate, 609-484-0452. Hawks Professional Moving Services, where we treat your belongings like our own.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Support for your strength.
Hello,
Brought to you
I'm
by
George
AARP
C.
and the Ad
I'm
Council.
Professor J. You know why I like listening to the gospel on the radio? It's easy. You turn it on, turn up the volume, and you have gospel.
Listening in the car is cool, I guess, but I'm more into listening from my computer. I just type in the website and I have gospel.
So whether you listen to gospel on the radio, on 88.7 FM, WEHA,
or on your computer on www.wehavegospel.com.
We have gospel.
So check out our new website, wehavegospel.com.
Praise the Lord, everybody. El Presidente here, inviting you to tune in Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight for Gospel Smooth, as we play the smooth sounds of gospel right here on Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
If you just tune in, you're listening to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon and Lady Parrish. And we are zooming through the pandemic. We're on telework. We're on everything. And this is our first show. We wanted to make sure that our listening audience was aware of Zooming, things that you may have to do. You may have to see your doctor through Zoom. I had to do it last week. It was an experience for me because she could see me and I couldn't see her because I didn't know what button to push. But I figured it out. So we are now and we're Zooming. So we're talking again with Jessica Grujon. I ain't saying it right. Grujon. And Elder Charles Geidert. And they're very tech savvy. And they're not, and so we're happy to have them on the show because we wanted our listening audience to know what it was like to deal with technology, during this particular time. And Elder God, I want you to also talk about, because you have a lot of churches that are streaming online now. A lot of churches streaming online, and I want you to talk to them concerning.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear me. What they
Okay,
can
I can hear a little
use?
bit now.
You got okay. We want to. I want you to talk. There's a lot of churches that are streaming online. They're streaming online, and they need certain equipment. Yeah. Okay. They need certain equipment and
I
stuff.
think I caught the end of that where you said the churches streaming online and what equipment they might use.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. All right. So before I talk about that a little bit, let me talk about just want to come back to just one point about Zoom, because I didn't want to leave off with people thinking that Zoom is not a good tool. It's a great tool. It's just that in our industry, we have very, very, very high standards as it comes to security. And Zoom is doing some great things about patching up some vulnerabilities that they had before. You heard about Zoom bombing, right? People coming into meetings uninvited and causing havoc, right? And the like. And they've started to implement some tools and some techniques to make sure that they plug those gaps. They acknowledge them. They've plugged them. And there's many companies that is using Zoom very successfully. So just wanted to make sure that I rounded that out.
I'm glad that you did bring that up, because I was going to say, we do deal with sensitive information for our students and the protect, FERPA, right? The Family Education Rights Act. And that is the Rights of Privacy Act. We have to now use passwords. When we're providing a Zoom link, we have to provide you with the actual password so that it prevents any Zoom bombing. A professor that was in the middle of class, and there were 30-something kids in the classroom, and someone bombed and put something very inappropriate in the Zoom chat. So it was terrible. We're very happy that Zoom is actually acknowledging it, and they have such a talented team. But definitely always when hosting a live session that is advertised, right? We do that ourselves. We do information sessions. We do a variety of large, like open house, trying to do later on in May, where there'll be hundreds of people that are going to be tuning into that one link, that one Zoom session. Just make sure that you provide that link, either the morning of, right? Or shortly right before the actual event takes place, and that you have a password. So you don't want to be advertising and have a link up all week long, because
Okay.
that will allow non-invited guests to attend your session.
Thank you for that. That's good information. Excellent information, because I was getting ready to do that. I was getting ready to give out my Zoom number and password today for tomorrow morning. Now that's a no-no. So do it the morning of.
No.
A few hours before you do your session. So that's good information. Elder God, there are a lot of churches that are streaming online, and well, we're one of them. But there are a lot of churches all over the country, because that's the only way that they can do, because they can't gather right now. What kind of equipment should they have so they can be heard in the churches or wherever they're zooming, or not zooming, but streaming from, whether it's Zoom or online streaming or whatever they're doing?
Yeah, there's definitely levels to this. I would think at the very least that you can do is if you have a phone, right, iPhone, whatever, you can certainly use that to record yourself, and you can Facebook Live and to get your message out to your audience. So certainly that, I think, as a minimum is something that's available to many. But when you get to if you want to get to more complex, I don't know if complex right, or more better quality type of streaming and better quality type of productions, then you start looking at different tools. You want to make sure you have good cameras. Certainly that is very important. Whether you're using a something like a Canon or Panasonic camera, whether it's a camcorder or whether it's a digital camera that does video, you can be very successful with those. There's streaming platforms that, like Ecamm Live, is something that's used by Mac users to do productions, and allows you to have multiple cameras, multiple views. Even if you're if you're from a home setting, it's very easy technology to use. It's something that I'm starting to take an interest in, that I'm starting to take a look at. Haven't physically done it myself, but it's something we definitely have researched. There's also tools like as I mentioned, Ecamm Live. Also, this technology or applications like Switcher, I think it's called Switcher, where that works on iPhones. And it works very easy, works very well. That's something that I've tested out, and I thought it's worked very well. Where with a couple of iPhones, some software, and about $30 a month, you can do multi-camera views and still have a really nice, slick production that's out there that you can stream out on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that. One of the things I think that we want to pay attention to, because people can be kind of forgiving of your video, but your audio is very, very important. It's essential when you're putting out your production, right?
Okay.
So having a clear audio, if at all possible, you don't want to just settle on your microphone from your iPhone, or your microphone from your camera, or your camera system. If at all possible, you want to have microphones that you can put into, even if it's a small mixer or something, that you're able to actually get a really good clear sound. Or even very basically, you could just get yourself a iOS or type of microphone, Zoom microphone, that you can plug into your phone, that'll give you better sound. Or have a clip on, that's maybe on your lapel, so that you're very clear when you're talking, when you're teaching. You don't have that, what they call proximity effect, where it sounds like you're so far away, from your audience when you're playing your video. But if you have something that's a mic that's closer, like a lapel mic, that'll work very, very well also, because your audio, the message is what you want to make sure it gets out to your audience. And so the audio is very, very important, that sometimes we overlook, because we're so concerned about the quality of the video.
Right.
But definitely, I would say, pay attention to your audio.
You're right, because if people can't hear the message, then they're going to turn you off. They're going to get aggravated. They're going to say they don't want to listen. They don't have time for it.
And
that's
just to add also, just to add, it's easy to download the Zoom app, right? Or on your phone, or if you are using a computer or a laptop or an iPad, you can always log into Zoom, create an account, right? And you can edit your picture like this. If I stop my video, right?
Mhm.
You could see my picture.
Right.
And you want to make sure that it's a clear professional picture. I do that often if my daughter is running around doing silly faces and I'm eating, you know, I know that she's coming to me. I'll stop the video, and then that way you can continue having a professional conversation. Um, if I want to roll out of bed and I don't feel like putting my lipstick on or doing my hair, you know, your picture is important. You also want to make sure that you edit your name, right?
Okay.
Because sometimes it'll log in as, you know, Fire Tablet or, you know, Google Chrome Book. You want your name to be displayed so that the people joining the session know what your name is, right? I also tell a lot of my colleagues when they're hosting live Zoom chats to edit their name to say the title of to have their title included. So Jessica Grujon, comma, assistant director of admissions,
Right.
or you know, whatever it is, just to allow those that are joining in to see who's actually talking.
That's good.
And,
Yeah, it's very good.
and you
Yeah.
can also do reactions, right? Like at the bottom on the lower bar of the Zoom, you could do a clap if you want to. If you're praising Jesus and you love what somebody is saying, you put that little or thumbs up. I agree with what you're saying.
Right.
And there's a lot of fun ways that you could utilize Zoom, especially if you are you want it to be fun and interactive with your viewers. You can do a poll, right? You can poll the participants and see how many of you have joined the show before. How many of you are new? And you can see like the live polling that goes on in the Zoom chat. The co-host has that opportunity, not me, for
Yeah.
example. And if somebody is joining your Zoom chat, you can click on that person's name under the participants and you can upgrade them to a panelist or to co-host. That way they can share their screen. That way they have the ability to help you with Q's and A's, because sometimes people will join in and have a question about what you're talking about, but they don't necessarily want to interrupt you or
Right.
be a part of the live chat. They put it in the chat in the Q&A, and then the co-host can go ahead and start answering while you're talking and providing the service.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Those are some really good points. Good, and I'm glad you brought those out, because sometimes when we hear about Zoom and Skype and these other tools, right, we think of it just from a conference call, video conference call type of use, but there's so many more pieces of functionality that it has that you can find beneficial and useful as you go over time. You know, like you mentioned the chat capability, you mentioned the polling. I think those things are great. There's screen sharing, right, where you can be working on a document. You might be teaching Bible class or something, and you want people to have it outline. You want to show it to them. You can just make it available where they can see it. There's whiteboarding features within Zoom, right, that and Skype that allow you to collaboratively. It means at the same time, two people working on a document, a diagram, whatever it is. You know, like in IT, we're famous for building diagrams, right? And building charts, right? And doing what we call whiteboarding, right on the chart, you know, what the infrastructure is going to look like, you know, when you're building out this this application. You know, well, we don't have to be in a room, a physical room. You can do that in a virtual room in Zoom and be able to actually together. I'm in New Jersey, there in Philadelphia, somebody else might be in Maryland. You know, you could be working together on a whiteboarding feature right there in Zoom. Webinars, on-demand viewing, something else that you can do with a Zoom and with a Skype. So much great functionality that, as time, I tell people, just get started with something, and then as you go forward, you know, you might find yourself getting more and more and more use out of the features and the capability that's available. But you know, yeah, start with video, but understand there's so much more power there.
Absolutely.
At your hands.
And Zoom has plenty of tutorials, you know, Zoom for Dummies, one-on-one, how to create a meeting, how to schedule a meeting, how to join a session, you know, to learn more about all that Charles and I are explaining to you. There's literally short snippets on the Zoom website. They're like 1 to 2, 3 minutes that will show you exactly how to do everything that we are telling you. I am an extrovert. I love being out and about. I love wining and dining with my girls. I love taking my daughter out. Right now during COVID, I'm missing that social component that was so big in my life. And so through Zoom and through making it fun and interactive, that really does allow me to continue that social need that I have in my life. So make it fun, make it your own. It's, like what we're doing today, we might have had audio issues, but I'm just so proud of you, Miss Thelma, for getting it all together. You had it on your board. You wanted to learn how to use Zoom, and look at you hosting a Zoom
Yeah.
live. Okay.
And not afraid,
So,
just dived in.
yes, you sure. Look here, I'm gonna put my little clap.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I actually learned how to take my meeting to Facebook Live. However, when I got here, it said that my something was too large, so I couldn't bring it up on Facebook. But I'm gonna do it, and it says that my pop-up or something was too large, or my whatever. But I did do that. I learned that this morning, and I was able to put myself on, go into my little test area with, I'm going to take this down, my test area, and test it out because I have a little test room. And I did that this morning. I was all excited when I got here to do it. But maybe next time we'll do it because I did learn to go straight to Facebook on some of the YouTube. But you can't do it on your tablet. I had to go to my laptop to do it. To bring down the client, Zoom client, and put that on my laptop. And then I was able to do it. But I tried so many times to do it on my little Samsung tablet, and it wouldn't accept it. But
you see, there you
She's
go.
talking the language, isn't she?
She's technical.
Yeah, do my best.
Well, but see, we're living in a technical society, and you have to change. Like some people are still going to the bank, and you can't go to the bank now because of COVID-19. You got to go through the drive-through. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have online banking, you're out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the technology now. If you don't do something to change, you're going to be stuck, and you're not going to be able to move forward. We don't know where this is going. I believe that coronavirus will be here forever. I hope maybe not in this stage. The curve will flatten. I really believe that. Mm-hmm. And we'll be able to go back as normal as we can. But until then, and after then, we need to be up on technology. So some positive things, as you said, Elder Goddard, that has come out of COVID-19, people who were not technological savvy has started trying to improve or grow or learn or do something. And if you're out there and you're listening to me, I want you to update your equipment. I mean, if you don't have a laptop or a computer or an iPad or a decent phone, you're not going to be able to see your doctor. Bottom line, I want to see my doctor, and I want my doctor to see me, especially if I've never seen them before. But I want everyone to try to do their very best in updating what you have. And if you have Wi-Fi and the router, we were talking about the router yesterday, other guys. I just want you to speak a couple minutes on that.
Okay, so let me hit it this way. There's a couple things I think we need to do to be successful in a telework world, right? So one of them is have a good attitude, right? Yeah. So this is great. I love this conversation that we're having because everyone's having a good time. We know what we got to do, and we're working towards that, right? And feeling like you can do it, So we might not be comfortable and proficient in the beginning, but we're going to get better and better and better as time goes on. So have a good attitude, have fun, give yourself a measure of grace, like we talked about earlier on this journey, but also prepare, and that's what you're talking about there, Pastor Witherspoon, is preparing, right? Just like businesses go through what we call business continuity exercises, where they say if things go wrong, let's practice what we have to do in order for things to get right again and make sure we're still able to provide services. We need to do a similar inspection of our home and say, hey, let's make sure that we're prepared to work from home in a most efficient manner. One of them is being as our workspace, right? Sometimes our workspace can be a little difficult. You mentioned it, Jessica. There's sometimes we get unexpected interruptions and things, and that's part of the grace that we need to have, right? Understand that that's part of our new world. But one of the things that can help is to identify a space where you're going to be at work, identify a time that you're going to be working. If your hours are 8 to 5, great. If it's 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 7 to 3, whatever that time is, just make sure you set that side of time, and your family have those conversations so that you're prepared to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I need to do. This is where I need y'all's help to help me be able to be productive while I'm here at home working and we're all here together. So preparing that way. Equipment, definitely the laptop, the mouse, router, keyboard. To me, it's important to have a big monitor that you can plug your laptops in, because you need some space to be able to see all those tiles when you're doing Zooming with a lot of people. You're making sure your router is in an optimum position. So that's something I had to do, right? My router was in my basement, and I need to be able to work without interruption from a Wi-Fi perspective, which wasn't a problem for many years, right? But now with me home, I have my granddaughter here. She's doing school during the same time. My youngest daughter, she's in school. She has to go in and dial in at times. My wife is working from home. So we're all hitting it, very much more heavily at the same time. So I need to reposition my router from the basement to get into a central place in the home where we can get even coverage throughout the home and we not have dropouts unexpectedly. So those are some of the things. Antivirus protection, making sure you use your privacy screens, locking your screen when you're away from the computer, so that sensitive information, is not just out in the open. Beware of phishing scams. Make sure you have a good speakerphone or a headphone set. All those are good tools and equipment that is helpful during a work from home environment.
And thank you so much. That is so important. And I just want to add, for those out there listening, please, 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 if you're working from home, ask your HR if they are able to deliver a desk or perhaps a chair, because right now I'm sitting at my dining room table, and this is where I've been doing the majority of my work for the last month. And it's terrible on my posture, back. The pain has been unbearable. I am getting my doctor to write an accommodation for me, and I sent it over to the HR department, and easily they're going to be delivering a small desk and my work chair next week. And that's important because these dining room tables and couches and such, they're not designed for us to be doing work at a laptop or a computer for 8 hours on end, right? So we need to take care of ourselves. We need to survive, right? Once we get through this, we want to make sure that our bodies are okay and that we're not doing anything to hurt ourselves. So please just learn how to ask for help. Call HR, speak to your supervisors, and if you can't get any accommodations, then take breaks. Get up, walk around, go outside.
Movement is our friend.
Mental health is very important right now. Do not forget.
Yes.
Outside to get some fresh air.
Well, I want to thank the both of you and Lady Paris for helping us Zoom through pandemic. We want to thank Jessica Groujon and Elder Charles Guidard for coming on and Zooming with us through the pandemic, and also talking about telework and the different things that we need to move forward during this time and after this time. Did you enjoy our show today? Yeah. I know you did. Thanks for tuning in to In the Community with Dr. Thelma and Lady Parrish, right here on WEHA 88.7, 100.3.
Hi, early in Finland. He tuned in. Thank you. Bye.
And enjoyed has been made possible by the contributions of you, the listeners. To make a donation, call us at 609-641-8870. Visit our headquarters at 3 Canal Drive, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. To our website, wehavegospel.com.
We have gospel.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Deacon William Hawks, also known as El Presidente.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic Atlantic City, and now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City, Pleasantville.
This is Kaleem Shabazz, president of the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP. The NAACP is a civil rights and social justice organization fighting since 1909 to ensure that everyone is treated fairly in our nation. The NAACP does not endorse candidates. We do take a position on issues